finally happened. Max and Lewis have crashed. It was a Dutchman that ended up in the wall this time, but that was only the start of it. There's been a war of words ever since. Teams firing back at each other. Absolute chaos on social media. It was the British Grand Prix. This is the Final Corner podcast. My name's Colin, and as always, I'm joined by Tom and by Nick.
Hello.
Did you enjoy the Grand Prix on Channel 4?
I didn't in the end. I watched it on Sky.
Ah, dear.
Wasted opportunity.
Just
After
out of
all
habit,
that.
unfortunately.
I enjoyed it. I heard, there's some opinions floating around that Mark Webber's rubbish. I kind of agree with that. And normally, during a normal race in Highlights Channel 4, he's just there as like a little third character. But this time he was trying to do like three main commentators, so that was a bit weird. But I still really enjoyed it.
It's not bad for a number 2 commentator.
Yeah.
That took a second there, I got that. Yes, so it all ended in tears for Max, by the end in celebration for Lewis.
Pretty much.
I was at the Grand Prix. It was blooming roasting.
Yeah.
It was so warm. It was too warm. And that's my takeaway from the weekend. It was bloody warm.
Are you still sunburnt?
I just go pink and then back to white, so you can probably see in the video I'm just back to white now.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, it was so warm. 3-day weekend, free grandstand tickets. So for practice 1, I'm trying to remember how the weekend was set out. Practice 1, I was at Maggots and Beckett's. Qualifying, I was at Village.
Mm-hmm.
Practice 2, I didn't bother with.
Oh yeah, you've reminded me of the weird structure.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember how it all went together. Practice 2, I didn't. I was stood at the one on Wellington Straight, but I was just kind of milling about. Then I was at Woodcote for the sprint race and the women's W Series and F2. And then on the final day, I was at Stowe.
Nice.
So I missed all the big crashes.
So wherever you were, nothing was happening at each session.
On that day.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
I missed everything. It's a good setup with just the giant screens that they've got, and they play circuit commentary over the channel, and you can buy a radio.
You can buy a radio?
Yeah, it's a little nice clip-on ear radio, which just means you can hear it as the cars are going past.
Interesting.
Which is handy.
Do you get to choose each day where to sit, or when you buy the ticket, is it pre-allocated?
You choose where you sit for the Sunday, so you've got an allocated seat for that, and Friday, Saturday it's roaming grandstands if you have a Sunday grandstand ticket. You
can just find a spot.
Yeah, but Friday they were pretty lenient. I think they were letting anyone in the grandstands, but on Saturday they were checking everyone's tickets to make sure you had that ticket to get in.
Did you have COVID testing proof?
I did. You had to either show the NHS app if you're from England, or for us Scots, just an email or a text saying that you were negative. And you had to do one every 48 hours.
Yeah.
So you could get in. So basically, the day before you really had to show, and they'd let you in. On the buses, it was masked up but fully packed, and then once you got in, free for all. Back to normal. On the Friday, people were putting them on to go into the toilets and into the merchandise stalls for about 20 minutes. Then everyone just said, "Stop it! We're here. Just go with it." So it was weird to be back to normal for a weekend.
It was too hot.
Yeah. Oh, it was far too warm.
I mean, I was too hot watching it at home. Fan, so.
Yeah. It was good to get some shade on the Friday and Saturday and a couple of the grandstands, but Sunday at Stowe was just constant sunshine. And
was there a TV screen in every place you were?
Yeah.
Located.
They're pretty
great
round, and they're good LED screens, so you can see them perfectly even in sunlight.
Nice.
They're not there normally. When I was there for British GT or Blancpain, I don't think there was a screen. I think that was just it. But there were only 3 fans, so you could just sit wherever you wanted.
Yeah, they weren't too fussy.
Yeah, you could just do whatever you wanted. I walked an entire lap.
Are the grandstands permanent?
Yeah, I think so.
Silverstone,
I
yeah.
think so, yeah.
So
I always forget there's one. Were you in a grandstand at the Beckett's area?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I always forget about that one.
You're really high up as well. It's a trek to get up the staircase, but you look right down on the middle of the second bit, which I think's
I don't remember that one when I was there last, but it must have been there. But yeah.
did do a full walk around the circuit on the Friday, and it's quite a trek.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Oh yeah, it is. It's really far. There's some people who I work with who like to run it on the outside for exercise.
Oh,
Man.
you've just triggered my first annoyance.
Oh yeah.
People who take bikes to the British Grand Prix and try and cycle round the outside of the roads while everyone's walking on it, and there's golf buggies and bin lorries and there's 140,000 people, and you're on a effing bike trying to push through it.
What's this?
You're
Why
allowed
would
to
you
take-
do that?
You're allowed
People
to
do
take
that.
bikes in, and people do it, and I wanted to punch every single one.
I've never heard of that. What the heck?
Oh.
Where'd you put it? When you
Just take it around with them.
So they're sitting in a grandstand with a bicycle and all.
I'm assuming they've not got grandstand tickets. But if you walk around, there's just random bikes dumped everywhere, and people for some reason take them in. So yeah, that's my first annoyance you've triggered there.
You should turn up next year with a tricycle or a scooter. One of those electric scooters. Brilliant.
Big wheel.
Yeah. So of course this was the first weekend of sprint qualifying or sprint race, or no, F1 sprint is I think
Yes,
the official
I was
title.
going to pick you up on that because
It's not
it's a sprint
qualifying
race.
or a race.
But I'm convinced they said sprint race when they initially announced the concept.
They did.
And then on the weekend, it's just sprint.
Yep. They don't want to use the name race for Saturday.
Mm.
And
But so what is it then?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure there was lights and a flag at the end. So
It wasn't a time trial.
no, I'm going to say it's probably a race. I have changed my mind. I think
I mean, you're wrong.
position should be Friday now as well. I've changed my mind over the weekend.
Ooh, what was your mind? What was your opinion initially?
I wasn't really bothered, but I thought, well, it's pole position's the person that starts the Grand Prix or first. But now watching it, I'm like, no, it's the person who should be fastest.
There was a full-length qualifying session,
There
Yeah,
was,
that's true.
and someone was quickest,
there was, and I'm sure
but they did not get pole position. Therefore, that's weird.
they got fastest lap. I think they were trying to call it, but then David Coulthard, I think,
Yes,
just kept saying
fastest
pole
lap.
position over and over again.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, which I thought was quite funny. Yeah. I just struggled with watching the full-length qualifying for it to mean not much.
Yeah.
I know it set the grid for the sprint. But we've said this before, and I think you both disagree with me, but for me, just make it like a one-session thing or a one-lap show. That's something different with that than a full-length six-section thing.
See, I think my opinion might be different from being at the track versus watching TV.
True. Yeah,
It
right.
meant that all 3 days there was something important happening rather than just practice. Because after
Yeah.
about 5 minutes of first practice, I was pretty bored because it didn't matter. So it was kind of so to get proper qualifying on the Friday night, and the atmosphere was brilliant for that. And seeing Lewis just hold on after he messed up his lap to take pole.
Yeah, but everyone was cheering for not much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I wasn't there, so I can't comment on that.
But again, I don't know how the full weekend played out on TV, if it was actually better or not. My boss texted me after the sprint saying that was a waste of time. But I was like, oh, that was great. So,
It was good to watch something on a Friday night.
Yeah.
My thing is, I'm not, just change up the qualifying format, not the full 3 segments. I was happy with the timing and the days of when they were on, just the format. What did you think, Nick?
Yeah, I liked it for something different, but yeah, I think the changing the quality up would help a lot, I think. There's lots of different things they could do.
Yeah, right. It was quite a staid change in the end, wasn't it? We're going to rip up the rule book and we're going to do something that's kind of the same. But
You could really throw it up and say something like, go by championship position, and whoever's in the top 10 in the championship has to qualify on hards.
I mean, I'd definitely watch it.
Yeah. Something that would actually mix up the grid.
Yeah, there was an opportunity to do something a bit more radical, but oh well. I still enjoyed it. Because it was something on a Friday night. There was something on a Saturday, which normally I'd watch qualified because I normally tend to go out and about on a Sunday and then have to watch the race later on. But I was able to watch. Oh, it's not a race, is it? I was able to watch some close competition on the Saturday.
It's a race.
The F1 website now states on the results it's actually sprint qualifying, which they didn't want to call it during the weekend, but apparently now it's sprint qualifying.
Oh yeah, the BBC calls it sprint qualification.
Yeah. But proper qualifying on Friday. Big surprise probably was George Russell in P8.
Yeah.
That was good.
When he got through to Q3.
That was the best bit.
Yeah.
Amazing, and then he actually went one better and beat a Ferrari and Aston Martin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And what was he's less than 2/10 off of fourth place.
Mm.
Oh, that's staggering.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah. But he's not missed Saturday if he does it on a Friday.
No.
No. I do hate that phrase though for him. It's just kind of like, well, he can't race, but he's quick.
Yeah, it's a bit belittling, isn't it?
Well, the can't race part I might start to agree with, to be honest. But Charles Leclerc in fourth, I thought was a mega result because he beat Perez, who was nowhere all weekend.
Yeah.
Standard.
As usual.
Did have a lap time good enough for fourth, Perez, but it was deleted.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up, 6/10 off Max? Which, yeah.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda again.
His early promise is kind of fading the past few weeks, I thought.
I've got a theory about this, but we'll come to it later.
But Lewis took pole for Max in second.
Well, did he take pole?
To me, he did. In my book, he took pole. There was a collective groan when they seen that Max was up in the first two sectors.
Was there?
Yeah, it was just like on the TV. And there was a mega cheer when we saw that he had messed up the final, and as did Lewis, who went round the tail chicane sideways.
Yes, totally.
Spectacular.
Yeah. So I think he was up on his lap as well until
it was.
And then messed it up right at the death. But
luckily, they both messed it up, so it's fine. Max was complaining about, it feels like there's no front wing or something, like it's not connected, there's just crazy amounts of understeer, which raised an interesting point, because Parc Ferme rules happened after FP1.
Yep.
Unless your name is Sergio Perez, which is absolutely mental.
Yeah.
So I was thinking at this point, if he's actually struggling and he's not just, messed up a lap, he's not going to be quick all weekend. But of course, he was quick all weekend. So.
Yeah.
They can change the front wing as well.
True. Yeah, true.
Yeah. I think they went for more downforce, so they were mega through the corners, especially Maggot and Beckett's, but then they were losing about 20 kph in the straights.
Slowest in the straight line, whereas Hamilton was the quickest in the straight line.
Yeah.
Which might, culminate in a certain instant.
We'll get to that. Then it was practice 2, which I have no idea what happened.
No, I really, really didn't care about practice at that point.
No, I mean, it's such a strange practice session. Like, you've had the big thing now.
And you can't change your setup. So what are they doing at that point? Just tyre wear?
I think they were just looking at tyre wear,
I think, well...
A few of the drivers did say there was no point in having it.
Yeah, I suppose it's just to maintain the track time for Silverstone.
Yeah.
And to give them a bit more data. F1 sprint with some snazzy new graphics, it looked like.
Was it a race?
Oh dear, here we go. Another hour to go. Yes, it's a race, sprint qualifying race. Max jumps Lewis, gets a great start from the right hand side of the track. Seemed to be quicker all weekend, even in some of the sport races. Jumps Lewis, he comes back at him down towards Brooklands, but has to back out, and then that's pretty much it. He tries to go around outside of Cops, but just it's not happening.
That's practice run number 1.
Yeah.
Can't go around the outsides. I'll bear that in mind.
Yeah. And that was pretty much it for the race. Sprint qualifying, fine.
Yeah, apart from Alonso, wasn't it?
Yeah, at the front, I mean, yeah, Alonso got a mega start and ended up in 5th, I believe, at the end of the first lap, which I've no idea how he did it, but he was on the soft tyres.
Soft tyres and round the outside of everyone around 2 or 3 corners.
Yeah, just stick it in. It seemed to just, it was mega. Which made it quite interesting because then it was him trying to defend from everyone for the rest of the race.
Yeah.
George Russell got his usual pretty poor start. Then into Brooklands, Carlos Sainz tries to go around the outside, but the McLaren in front of both of them walks up, I think Ricardo, which then I think causes Russell to walk up and he runs into the side of Sainz and pushes him off.
Yeah.
Pretty good place, good penalty I think it was in the race.
I didn't agree for it.
Well, from where I was sitting, I thought that's wrong. Because I seen it happen, I seen Sainz going off, but then once I seen the replay and seen that he had walked up, I thought, fair enough.
That's how I thought as well.
It's when you watch the sights on board, and you can see that George is already running wide, and he still tries to go around the outside. And I'm a bit like, well, I felt like it was there's a trajectory that the Williams seems to be going on. And I feel like Sainz almost... Like, the cars are so wide with the rear wheels, I feel like it's an unfortunate misjudgment. That's my view on that. Although, wow, that is a dangerous rejoin from Sainz.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was horrendous.
Across the giant Crypto.com sponsorship, which was everywhere. Did you buy some after that, Colin?
I don't know. I was going to ask, was that actually on the grass, or was that, like, projected on? Because I can't remember seeing it on the grass. I might be wrong.
It looked projected. Projected.
That's what I thought when I seen that. I've cut it back. I'm sure I don't remember seeing that.
Yeah, that was, if you watch it from the Gasly on board, good reactions from your man Gaz, Colin, to avoid that. So again, that's another reason I felt a little like 3rd place grid drop for that, when I think Sainz could have maybe avoided it a bit, and nothing for the rejoin.
Yeah,
but anyway,
I suppose,
I did find it annoying that it was under investigation to be, I believe it even said on screen actually after the race, which is quite amusing.
Yeah.
Wasn't
hoisted by the rump petard.
But I suppose as it wasn't a race, they can get away with that. But I hate it when they do the after the race investigations.
Right.
You don't find out till later.
No. Kimi was put on the sauce and he managed to get himself up to 13th. He was really punchy this weekend. It was quite fun to see. Sainz managed to record to 11th.
Really good recovery drive. Really good recovery drive. Yeah.
Considering it's only a half-hour event,
yes,
to get back from almost last.
Almost last. I think it was alongside Latifi when he rejoined. Well, also considering the lack of overtaking anywhere else in the field across the weekend generally. That was a superb effort.
Yeah, well, Lando managed to get past Alonso, and I think Ricardo did as well.
Yeah.
But they were stuck behind for a while, and that kind of stuck them in 5th and 6th, which is still decent for McLaren.
Anyone got any opinions about the weaving?
From Alonso, I love it. It's great.
Tiny bit excessive, but it wasn't dangerous, so I think it's fine.
There was a couple of times where it was, when they got really close, I was like, ooh, that's a little... I'm fine with it otherwise, but when they're within a 1 car length, it's a bit like, well...
Yeah, if there's a chance of them coming together because of it, it shouldn't be going on. But I do think there was enough gap, just.
I think so.
I think he did get a warning in the braking zone, but
he did.
Yes.
I don't think it was in the braking zone.
No, it was on the back straight. Not the straight, higher straight.
Was he trying to avoid a protester? Oh, that's a very old reference.
Yeah.
Was that in the Robin Hood outfit?
I can't remember now.
Yeah, it was like something like Robin Hood. I can't remember what it was protesting about. It was a badgers or something.
They had a sign.
Something like that.
Badges.
Yeah. It was something stupid, I'm sure.
Well,
I need to go live Google it.
You live Google. I'll talk about Perez spinning in the meantime.
Yeah, you go for that.
That was a bit chunky. I think he was sort of... He'd fallen back a bit at the start because, like, let's say, for example, Alonso had the soft tyres, right, Nick?
Yeah.
and then he spun. I thought that was in the wall from the initial angle, but the replay said a bit of gravel slowed him down. Yeah. Paul Ricard. And that saved his race, I think.
It really did look like he'd gone flying into the wall, but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even think he tapped it. I think he stopped just parallel to it.
Yep. And Red Bull on the last lap retired him so that he could replace every single part in the car, I think, by the sound of things.
Yes, apparently there was an issue with the car.
Yeah, he drove through a gravel trap.
Yeah. What that issue was, I don't know. Apparently there was a legitimate reason. It was not strategic.
All right. But maybe Mercedes should counter-protest.
Yeah. It was interesting that all of the drivers that put on softs made up lots of ground and then just had to defend, apart from one.
Yeah.
Would it be car number 77?
It would.
Mr. Valtteri Bottas.
Yes.
Right.
Who was so slow, it was painful to watch. He did nothing on those.
Yeah.
He was lucky to hold off Leclerc at one point.
That's exactly what I thought until I rewatched the start of the sprint. Pause. He actually gets a better start than the front row and gets alongside Hamilton. But in my mind, it looks like he backs off to protect Hamilton. Possibly. And the main advantage was in that first lap. And he still didn't do very well the rest of the lap. And the rest of the race was not that quick either. But if you look, it's quite a tight angle to that corner. It's flat, especially on the first lap, right? And it feels like he sort of defends Leclerc, sees Hamilton, he's alongside him, backs out early. I think it was a team game thing he was doing, or just extra tentative. Because I during the actual event, until watching it back this evening, I thought, I've written down here in the notes, what the heck is Bottas playing at? He's on soft tyres and he didn't do anything. But I feel like the start has a little part to play there.
No, that could be. I hadn't thought about it like that.
So, the Silverstone protester was a 2003 British Grand Prix by a man named Neil Horan.
Breaking news.
He was wearing an orange skirt and was waving a religious banner that said he'd read the Bible was always right.
Nothing to do with badges.
Nothing to do with badges, apparently. I must have made that.
That was maybe the Hockenheim one.
I am sure there was something about badges, but apparently not. He's apparently also done it at the Epsom Derby, 2004 Summer Olympics.
Oh, wow.
World Cup 2006.
Just stop giving the man tickets.
Yeah, exactly. Don't let him in. And apparently in 2004 he was found not guilty of a decent assault of a 7-year-old girl. He was naked. He was naked while they played hide and seek, and she tickled him, and he was found not guilty. So that's good.
Right, brilliant.
So I'm glad we read out his profile and then I saw that section.
I feel a bit uneasy now.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. So he's still alive, so that's fine.
I thought it might have been him at the Euro final.
I shouldn't have read further on.
Yeah, don't.
In 2017, he showed his support outside court for disgraced entertainer Rolf Harris.
Yeah.
So, so that's nice.
Right.
That's
well, you learn something new every day.
That's the last time he'll ever be mentioned on this podcast.
Yes.
Or any other podcast.
Yes. On to the proper race, I guess.
Oh, one more thing actually I wanted to cover.
Go for it.
Well, two quickly. One, Russell finishes in the top 10 for the first time ever.
But doesn't get any points.
Yep. No. And I really wasn't sure about the whole victory lap on the truck. But I was curious what your viewpoint of it is from being trackside.
I was on the bus home, but then...
Yeah.
To avoid 140,000 people going for the same bus, I left 2 laps before the end because I didn't think anything was happening. So
you missed the crypto bus.
So
they were handing out free Bitcoin.
I did see the clip of it, but I didn't wait around for it. I seen the buses go around pre-race as a practice, and that's when I decided I'm not waiting to see someone stand on that and wave.
Yeah.
So how was it on TV?
It was weird.
It just seemed really crap.
Oh, yeah. Well, first of all, it had a roof. I thought, as a fan, you wouldn't be able to see the drivers that well.
Yeah.
And I think that was maybe to protect from the sun, but it looked like another excuse to stick the crypto website all over it, which clearly the sponsorship works, because I've mentioned it like 4 times, so now I'm not going And then there was a really awkward moment where they gave Lewis the mic, or tried to give Lewis the mic and say, "Do you want to have a word to the fans?" And he was just sort of like, "No," and didn't use the mic. He just sort of waved at everybody.
Yeah.
Because I guess it was on the spot. The interview had already gone way over long. I can't remember who was doing it now. Oh, Jensen Button. He couldn't get the words out. And they sort of just riffed this awkward moment, and clearly Lewis didn't have anything to say.
Yeah. Which didn't... That's the problem. It didn't mean anything, did it, at that point?
No. But I'm all for more fan interaction in Formula 1.
Yeah.
That was just a bit weird. Oh, and the wreaths. They got a wreath.
Yes. I don't know if it was just Max or not, because he was the only one wearing it.
I don't know.
I think it was just Max, yeah.
Was that the prize for winning the event?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't get a trophy, so you get that.
Mm.
Plus 3 championship points.
True.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget that. So, why didn't... If it's pole position, why didn't they get the signed Pirelli tyre?
Oh, yeah. Oh, important questions. Someone's missing a Pirelli tyre.
Who got that? Did anyone get that? Did Lewis get it?
Don't think anyone did, actually.
No?
Don't think so.
I feel like if we've missed something on the coverage there, and
Maybe.
but yeah. Anyway, if anyone's listening, tweet Colin
Yeah.
with the answer.
No.
Because live Googling's coming up with nothing.
On the F1 website, the last picture is from Azerbaijan, which was a while ago, wasn't it? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's not been updated in a while.
Mm-hmm.
God, we're on round 9, aren't we?
Oh no, yeah.
Some of
Podcast.
that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Went so quick. Okay.
Just another thing.
Okay.
Go on. Sorry.
No.
We'll never get to this race.
Go.
Did you see the 2022 car in person?
I did.
Was this? Do you want to talk about that before the race or after the race?
No, I'll talk about it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it as massive as it looked on your Instagram post?
No, I guess it looked regular Formula 1 car size.
Right.
They had it on. They didn't have it there on the Friday. I'm not sure if they had announced it by then, hadn't they?
I can't remember. They announced it during the weekend sometime. I can't remember when that was.
I think it might have done it on Thursday, I believe. So they had the car out on Friday. There's one for the general fans, and they had one in a VIP area, I believe.
Oh, and you were in that one, yeah?
Yeah, I wish. With Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and
Tom Cruise,
yeah,
Harrison Ford.
Harrison
yeah.
Ford.
They were all there.
The one that had it on display was the one with like the shiny silver livery.
Yeah.
And it was pretty cool to see. There's no any little daft aero bits on it, so it's really
Yeah.
smooth looking.
Mhm.
The rear wing's quite it's quite sharp. How safe
Is it?
it is. And the little fins over the wheels are pretty cool.
Yeah, because apparently the covers over the wheels are that the current teams use wheels as aerodynamic devices.
Yeah.
So they're trying to stop that in a way, or reduce that. Is that correct? And they're trying to get the less addenda on the aerodynamic bits because they're trying to get more downforce from the floor, which
Yeah.
should help
Yep.
overtaking.
I think they are aerodynamic devices themselves. But yeah, sorry, carry on.
Are they? Okay, alright, sorry. What I'm thinking is if there's less drag or less downforce coming from the wings, does that give less of a slipstreamy effect? Don't know. You might be able to follow closer, but you might have less of a differential
Yeah, I know it's
on a straight.
being done in a different way, because I know at the moment they use like the blown axles to push air out away from the wheels.
Right.
And these wheel covers are meant to help the aero flow, but I'm not sure exactly
Are
how
they?
that sort of works with the car.
That's because we're not aerodynamicists.
They also look horrible.
The front wing is massive.
They do look horrible. Is it?
Yeah.
Which and the end planes, is that the right
Yeah,
term?
they are really tall.
Right. So I'm thinking if there's a slight rub, are you going to lose more aerodynamic? If a big chunk comes off as opposed to one of the little tiny spindly little bits, is that going to affect the racing a little bit? I don't know.
I think what you'll probably see is less tyre cut punctures because the wing goes rather than a sharp edge. I'll do that again. So, yeah.
Colin was moving his arm around there for audio listeners.
Exactly. But yeah, it looks interesting.
I thought it
I
looked a
don't
bit.
like the rear wing.
No, it's really
It's
strange.
like a coat hanger upside down.
I don't know how the DRS works with the way they've shown it.
It wasn't on the model.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, this can't be. There wasn't a hinge. I was actually curious what this is actually made out of. If it's like plastic
Polystyrene.
or if it's proper like carbon fibre. And
It might be
Sure.
clay.
Play-Doh, I think.
yeah, there is a white or kind of silver reflective wheel rims. But again, I don't know if that's just this car or what it's being the proper one.
No, the wheel rims there, they will be, the wheel covers are for all teams, but they are open to have their own look or design.
Yeah, and same for the whole car as well, right? Like,
Yeah.
this is a generic mock-up. Each
It's
team,
a concept of what it could look like.
yeah, each team will look different to that. I wasn't a fan of the look of it, but then I saw like mock-ups going around the internet with the actual team liveries on, and I thought, oh yeah, that looks
Yeah.
good. That looks good. Like in the Red Bull one and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, proof is on the track.
Indeed. How
Did you
well
hear-
can they follow each other?
Ricardo allegedly said, "Oh, that looks very bad," or something like this.
Yeah.
Supposedly he was not talking about that.
Yeah. But I don't know what else
Not
to be
sure I
talking.
agree with him on that one.
Yeah. While looking at it,
Yeah.
but yeah.
I thought that was quite amusing because he said, I didn't say that about the car, but I can't remember what I was talking about. So how do you know you wasn't saying it about the car?
Doesn't hold up in a court of law. That.
No.
No. Race?
Yes, an actual race.
No, one more thing.
Oh, God.
I'm kidding. Carry on.
I want my dinner. Come on. Race. So.
Are you sure it's a race?
Oh, I'm not really sure.
It's definitely a race.
So the starting grid is the same as sprint results, except from George Russell drops to 12.
Yeah.
And I don't think there was any more penalties. Perez starts from the pit lane.
Yep, he was on the hards and everyone else was on the mediums.
Race start, and Lewis gets a good start on the dirty side of the track, as everyone is. Gets pretty much alongside Max through turn 1, but he holds on by running a bit wide. Defends well through the loop, and then they come along the Wellington Straight.
Yeah.
Hamilton has a go round outside of Brooklands, but then backs out because Max is going to run him out of road. Runs wide through Luffield, runs wide so he can get a good exit onto Woodcote, onto the old pit straight. Gets a great exit run on Max. Dummies that he's going to go to the outside. Goes to the inside, really tight to the old pit wall. Tries to go through the inside of Cops. Hits Max, and Max goes flying into the barrier. 51G impact. And the internet exploded, and the team bosses started fighting, and all chaos had broken loose ever since.
Yes.
So,
Sebastian Vettel had to stay behind after the race with his rubbish bags to pick up all the dummies that had been spat out.
And yeah, I'll let you two have a crack at this first then if you want.
Tom, you can go first.
I was going to say the same to you.
Yep.
I don't disagree with a 10-second time penalty. I do think it's touch and go. The more I watch it from every different angle, I mean, Nick just sent across one where it's like the 360 onboard camera. I just think, yeah, Max has definitely got a part to play in this. I disagree with the crater. It wasn't an explosion. The internet's it's got a giant crater that's still there. You can't say anything on the internet now without the response being, well, it was Lewis Hamilton's fault. And the main annoyance for me is how Red Bull's gone on about it during the time with the whole and Max, and then since now with all the other political shenanigans going on. It's not a good look for Formula 1 in general, actually.
Yeah.
No, so as we record this, we're a week and a half after the race. We're late in recording this, so in the fall it's still going on a week and a half later.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Lewis is tight to the wall, and it is going into so tighter than you'd want, even if you were overtaken. Cops, sorry. And he does run wide. He misses the apex. Max sees him. He's 80% alongside. His front wing is at Max's front wheels. Max sees him, straightens off his steering, and then chucks the lock back on, assuming that Hamilton will just have disappeared by then, and they end up in the ball. Now, I'm kind of you. I thought that's a penalty because he's the one making the move and it was contact. And if you're going to approach and blame, it will be on more Lewis's side than Max's. But what I took away from it was, why did he turn back in? Why take that risk when you've got all that track on your left hand side plus a concrete runoff? Why take the risk on lap 1?
Yeah, that was exactly my viewpoint as well. He could have just opened up the steering, gone wide, and then still been straight under his rear wing, and potentially retaking him down the hangar straight. There was no need to risk cutting in, well, not cutting across him because he didn't really, but he left enough room for a car, but not enough room for a car on the wrong line.
Yeah.
And I thought it was going to be an epic overtake by Lewis till it went wrong. Everything leading up to it was really nice.
I think in that same scenario, I would have done the same as Lewis. I think that's one way of looking at it. What would you have done? Exactly that. But you probably would have... I think Lewis almost tries to... Oh, he's turned in, I'll slow down a little bit. If it should, maybe just should have kept it planted and side-to-side contact, and they both would have gone out of the race. But
they've released the telemetry, and Lewis slams on the anchors.
Yeah.
But he's 80% alongside. If you don't go for that move, then you've totally lost the battle with Max, because he's already got out of the way from him this season. If you're 80% on the inside of a corner, and you don't go for it, then just pack it in.
At the minute, we've got this incredible title race with a lot of tension now and drama.
Yeah.
I'm certain that the viewership figures will go up. And what Lewis can't do now is become timid.
Yeah.
You can't be bullied by this onslaught of exaggerated hyperbole from Red Bull.
Yeah, it all started with Christian Horner's interview immediately.
I mean, that's literally his job. I don't know what else he does other than that.
No, but he got heavily booed when his interview came on over. Although, to be fair, when Lewis came, so it brings out the safety car, Lewis comes past, there was quite a bit of booze stacked at the back of my grandstand, which was quickly drowned out by cheers and applause and everyone going mad for him. And then Horner's interview got played, and he presents it as if Lewis has just stuck a wheel up the inside, like lazily just hanging up there.
Yeah, they kept using the term "stuck a wheel up," and I was like, he hasn't stuck a car up there.
Yeah, he's alongside. He doesn't fully make the corner, which is why he deserves a penalty. But he's not stuck a wheel up. He's alongside. It's a fair move to try and make. And Max would do the same. There's no way in hell Max Verstappen's backing out if he's up the inside.
For me, down the straight after Woodcote before Cops is where Hamilton got the run in the sprint and went to the outside and failed. This time Max covers the inside, but Hamilton does if you watch the onboard, it's a beautiful dummy.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
It goes straight to the right, then it goes left, right, but then it goes back right, and there's just... And to me, an element of it is Max has been outfoxed at that point.
Yeah.
So the sharp turning is a retaliation to that. But I don't know. I'm not inside his head, am I? Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're all wrong. We're all completely wrong. We're three British men, and we're wrong because the internet is just full of the entirety of the Netherlands.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Formula1.nl on Instagram is not going to like this.
Yes, Lewis should be suspended as well, according to Helmut Marko.
Helmut Marko, the walking quote machine.
Yes. the same member of the Red Bull team.
You know, the Formula 1 deciding to play the team to FIA radio messages has been a great thing. Because you get to see how petty everyone is. And the funniest moment of the weekend is, Is
yes.
Total Wolf. Michael, I've sent you an email. Michael, Total, I don't check my emails during the race. Well, you should. I've sent you a nice picture.
I'm coming up.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Total Wolf with Michael Massey, and then you have Christian Horner first saying he's not happy. Then you have Total Wolf, and then you have, I think, is it Simon Rennie?
The Max race engineer, basically.
Well, I think it's the Red Bull sporting director,
Oh,
Jonathan
sorry.
someone.
Jonathan. Yeah, him. He's on to Michael Massey. Michael, I'm really not happy about this. I've watched it again, and I'm not happy. I mean,
Wheatley. Sorry.
it's
Jonathan
just,
Wheatley.
Nice.
it's so pathetic. It's like crying to the school teacher.
I know, every one of those radio messages that come on might have just started with the words, Mum. It's just so petty.
So Toto is told you can go see the stewards if you want. So he does.
Yes.
Then Horner follows him to the stewards because he's not happy about hearing that. And then Christian Horner's kicked up a full thing afterwards about you shouldn't go and see the stewards during the race, even though Toto was told he could. And now there's a new directive, I think, this weekend where you can't go see the stewards during a race.
Oh, dear.
So,
Well, you can't go see them unless requested
yeah,
by the stewards.
it's just so petty.
Yes.
So Hamilton, yeah, as like Tom said, you got a 10-second penalty, which is what there's 4 penalties I think available. 5, 10,
Yep.
drive through, and then 10-second stop go.
Yep,
So
that's it.
so I think they've recognised that it's not 100% Lewis's fault, even though
Yeah.
he's probably made the majority of the mistakes.
Probably Toto's diagram.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then Max is obviously has made an error because he could have avoided that crash himself by running wide. So
Yeah, but what penalty do you give to someone who sent someone to hospital?
Well, it makes no difference. According to the regulations, the outcome of the incident is irrespective of the punishment.
Well,
It's
well,
the actual
well.
move itself.
You say that to a Dutch person.
Supposed to be.
there's old quotes getting bandied around all over the place at the moment. So there's one from Lewis from about 3 years ago, I think, when Vettel takes out Bottas at Paul Ricard.
Yep.
And he says, if you take someone out the race, you shouldn't get a time penalty, it should be equivalent. So, so everyone's chucking that about from the VAC side. And then on the Lewis side, everyone's talking about Christian Horner's quote from Spain this year, where he's praising Hamilton for getting out of the way of Verstappen. Because if he didn't, he was going on the wall. So Horner's praising Lewis for getting out of the way of Max, and now he's calling for Lewis to basically get banned for not getting out of the way. It's Red Bull's stance is annoying me because they're basically saying if Max comes near you, get out of the way.
Correct.
And how dare anyone else come near Max?
And that's why Hamilton can't let that get to his head.
I don't.
Yeah.
To be honest, from his post-race interviews, never and afterwards, he's not. He was quite happy to celebrate.
Yeah, but there's an element of what did he know and what, in the moment, and the effort he's just put into it. That must be amazing to feel that. It's in the days afterwards when you see rubbish like this. Like I'm referring to, the, is it, well, are we calling it a protest? Red Bull's lodged a petition for the right to review.
Which will be held on Thursday, I think.
Right, well, I hope they get chucked out.
Yes. There will be up to 3 team members allowed to go from the Red Bull side, and up to 3 team members from the Mercedes side are allowed to go to the stewards. I assume it's the stewards, actually, that they have to go to. Not sure if it's anyone else. And then they have to prove that there is new and... There's another word to it, but I can't remember. But new evidence that substantially changes for them to even consider it.
I mean, what new evidence could there possibly be?
Well, one of the rumours is the fact that they never took Max's side of the statement because he was in hospital, and so that might be their new evidence, which is just crap if that's true.
Yeah, well, that can't be much good, can it?
No, it's not evidence, that's subjective.
Their initial evidence that they were saying, I think the day after the race, was that Lewis took that corner faster than any other point that he did. But Mercedes apparently have got to him. It shows that when he was overtaking other people into that corner, he was equally as fast, but he didn't go as tight an angle. So again, if that's true, then that's out the water.
He did go as a tight angle, I think, at one point, but the other driver gave more room and then ran wide.
Yeah, because you made the point, not tonight, but I think last night when we were speaking, Tom, about
Yeah.
Max crowds him before the corner.
It does. Yeah.
So he has no choice but to take the line.
Now, Hamilton does do the late dive, but once that late dive to the right happens, after what we were saying, like the fake move, Max moves further to the right. So there's an element of that seems to be forgotten. Hamilton's on the shallower line, or as shallow line as he was in the end, with muck on his tyres, because Max has an element of putting him in that position. And he should factor that in when he's turning in.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I can't drive a car at 200 miles an hour like they can. So it's very easy for everybody to sit back. But
just looking at what possible penalty, if they do want to go back and say, okay, 10 seconds wasn't harsh enough.
yeah, what can they do? The Red Bull want to strip the win, don't they?
Yeah, but a drive-through would be, 20 seconds at Silverstone?
Mm-hmm.
At Silverstone, yeah.
That's-
It's a shorter pit loss.
Yeah, and it's a 10 second would be 30-ish seconds. So if they applied an extra 10 seconds to Lewis's time to take him up to 20, he'd still be second. If they applied another 20 seconds on his time to take him up to the 30, he'd drop to third. So he could potentially lose 7 or 10 points if they apply a harsher penalty.
At that point, can Mercedes retroactively withdraw Bottas from the result?
That's a good point.
Yeah. But again, if that did happen, there'd be another appeal and it'd probably end up in the court of arbitration for
This is
sport.
going
Yeah.
nowhere.
Yeah.
This is going nowhere.
I hope so, anyway.
No,
That's for sure.
nothing is happening. There's going to be no definitive result of this because it's going to come down to the point where someone says, this is embarrassing for the sport,
Yeah.
and Red Bull will concede.
I think it would be a terrible precedent if this is how we're going to go after every
Yeah.
race.
This is completely pointless. This is just a PR thing from Red Bull or a thing to bolster Max's mental state.
Yeah, because I think
Nothing will come with it.
what they're not happy about is it apparently it's cost them $1.8 million in car damage, which I think is about 1.3 million quid, 1.4. So with the cost cap, that hurts them. So they're not happy about that. But again, the steward said that Hamilton was predominantly to blame, not wholly to blame, so some of that cost is on Red Bull.
Yeah.
Because their driver was a contributing factor in that crash.
What do you think about the comment of Max on social media? He's in the heat of the moment, I'll give him that.
Yeah.
Any opinions about... he was commenting on Lewis's celebration.
What you said was disrespectful. Because the driver
I
was in
mean,
hospital.
technically the tweet didn't make grammatical sense, but, fine.
Yeah.
So Lewis didn't know he was in hospital. He was told he was fine and out of the car. And Max wasn't rushed to hospital. He was taken for precautionary checks. So
Yes. He
It's
wasn't
not-
hospitalised, as they said.
yeah, he wasn't rushed to hospital with broken ribs or anything. Although he was badly winded and hurt his neck slightly.
Yeah, it's not messing about with a big accident like that.
Yeah.
Safety's moved on and we don't want to see people
No,
even have the chance of being injured.
no.
But, then the other thing that's been circulating around, like you said about quotes, is the picture of Verstappen on the podium when Grosjean was in hospital.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Lewis,
Different context. There's different context.
It is Lewis, Alex Albon, and Max Verstappen are all spraying each other with champagne. So there was no.
Oh, well, not rosewater, isn't it?
Rosewater. I apologise. So, I just think it's all messy. It all looks pathetic.
And it's only Red Bull that's making it look pathetic.
It's like Conor McGregor sitting in the cage with a broken leg, shouting abuse at Dustin Poirier from that weekend. It's embarrassing. It's just stop. It's
I'll take your
over
word on
and
that.
with. Okay, a UFC reference you didn't get. It's just, what's it? Why? It's an incident. It's done. I mean, can you imagine what it would have been like when Schumacher was hitting people to try and win world titles if Twitter was around, or if Senna and Prost at Suzuka was happening now? Can you imagine what mess it would be?
Well, I did see a tweet that said, this would have never happened, this sort of fallout would have never happened with Senna and Prost. I was like, yeah, because social media didn't exist.
Yes.
Moron.
Really much worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with Max's tweet, to be honest, because he's upset about it.
Yeah.
But it's everything that carried on after it. He should have just been told, that's fine, you're upset, but less of that.
Yeah.
Mm.
I just
But
think
it's been encouraged in the end.
Yeah.
it's one of these things I think you should just move on after the race.
Although we're not.
No, but we're delayed in recording, so that's why.
One of the big talking points during the race, even not during the race, sorry, during post-race thing was the fact that he'd unfollowed him on Instagram.
Yeah, I did see that.
Oh,
It's
dear
like, oh, for
God.
God's sake.
That is petty. That is so petty. If
Oh.
true.
Yes, good point.
I'm sure that Lewis will be gutted about that with his, 7 million followers he's got.
That could easily be he never followed him in the first place. But yeah.
Yeah.
If that's so true, it's just so childish. Come on now.
23.2 million followers, I apologise. Do you remember when Lewis had a go at Jenson Button on Twitter when he announced he was leaving Mercedes because Button apparently unfollowed him and then he realised that he'd never followed him?
There was something about that.
Yeah, he was tweeting I thought we had more respect for each other after 3 years as a teammate and all that, and then 20 minutes later, turns out Jenson never followed me, sorry. So Lewis isn't past that himself. Do you want to talk about the rest of the race?
As well, the 51G impact is pretty severe, but do you know what the highest survived G is?
Oh no, but is it Grosjean?
150?
No, it's not. In modern times, the highest was Kubica for 75G at Canada.
What did you say, Colin? 150?
I'm sure there was IndyCar ones which were in the hundreds.
David Purley in 1977 survived an estimated 180G.
What? And survived it?
Yes. And in NASCAR, Kenny Brack allegedly 214G.
Yeah, wow.
This will be like Americans converting into kilometres per hour or something. It'll be like 60, but they've times that up wrong.
But yeah,
180G.
I can't believe the sizes of those. I was just, when you just get curious when you see something, it's like, how big is 50G? Because I know it's massive, but
yeah,
wanted to put it into context.
The Kenny Brack one is the highest G of all time. I think it was kart or IndyCar.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that incident. It's awful.
Yeah. But yeah, it's mad.
Wow,
Anyway,
sorry. It's not the Kenny Brack one. I'm sorry, now I'm doing like Googling. It's not
Sorry.
just high for a race. It's the highest horizontal G-force ever survived by a human being. And 18 months later, he raced Indy 500. Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh my God. Texas is... Oh no, I'm thinking... No, carry on.
So, rest of the race, I guess.
Oh yes, there was a race, wasn't there?
Was there?
Yeah, apparently. We'll run through this part quick because the rest is unexciting as this.
Red flag.
Well, safety car first. Mercedes don't
Oh,
pit because Lewis has front wing damage, but decide not to pit. Red
Good
flag,
decision.
Damaged wheel, but didn't know that at the time.
Red flag. They can change all that in the pit lane and don't lose any time. I did like on was the best team radio or on board to someone that asked Valtteri to pull alongside under the safety car to have a look to see.
And then on the grid, Valtteri was playing team game, wasn't he? On the radio, it was like, so that was a racing incident, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, red flag. We get a second good start. Charles Leclerc is up into, I think it was third before the crash, so he's second at the restart.
Yeah.
Perez also takes a good start this time after his pit lane. And Leclerc takes the lead. Pretty sharpish, gets a great start again from the dirty side of the grid. He's really quick for the first section and takes it from Hamilton.
And Bottas fell back as well right at that point.
He fell
Leclerc
behind
actually
Norris.
had the lead before the red flag.
Is that what
you're
it
right.
was?
That's it.
So yeah, he had the lead because of Verstappen coming together.
He went round Hamilton, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Good shout. I'm imagining whatever that restart was. I wasn't looking at it.
It sounded good though.
I was at Stowe.
Yeah.
I was at the other side of the track, so that's what I'm saying. So yeah, Leclerc keeps the lead, and I think Norris gets a jump on Bottas.
Yep. Bottas losing his traditional one spot at the start.
Yep, and then the full first stint on the medium tyres, Leclerc is quick enough to keep Hamilton at bay.
Amazing drive.
As is Norris. Like, Bottas isn't really ever close to getting past him. And then it gets announced, I think Hamilton gets a 10-second penalty during the first stint. So when he boxes, he drops behind he drops down to fourth. and then Lando has a slow stop, which drops him behind Bottas.
That ruined the race in some respects.
Yeah. When Hamilton got the penalty, I thought for a few minutes Lando might win this year, because I just expected Leclerc to fall back, but
That's what I was thinking as well.
he didn't. The Ferrari was mega in the race trim. But I felt so bad for Lando, because I don't think Bottas would have got him.
Yeah.
No, I don't either.
So Bottas gets him in the pit stop, right?
He gets him in the pit
Yeah.
stop,
Yeah.
yeah.
And only just, even though
Mm.
it was a 6-second stop.
Yeah. At this point, hasn't Leclerc had some engine issues as well?
Yeah, it was over the
Yeah.
team radio that he was
So he's
having
doing this
cutouts.
Yeah, he's doing amazing driving. He's having to press all these buttons all the time.
Yeah, it was engine cuts apparently, but
Mm.
presumably minuscule, because it didn't seem to be affecting his lap time.
Yeah.
But it's got to be scary when you're the driver thinking this is going to die on me.
Hamilton then got past Norris just after that, was
Yep.
it?
Through Stowe, I think
Felt
Lando
like-
just let him go.
Yeah. And all Sainz had a slow stop as well. Not
Yeah,
good.
so I think Sainz got past Ricardo and then ended up coming up back behind him and had about 40 laps behind Ricardo. Daniel was weaving along the hang straight Alonso every single lap.
Well, he clearly was behind Alonso the previous day and
Yeah.
picked it up from him.
And I felt a bit sorry for Carlos, because I think he had the pace to get up
Me too.
towards Bottas, but he just couldn't.
Well, Perez made 2 pit stops, which I thought was really weird. He
Yes.
picked quite early with the hard tyre. Lap
Well,
19
yes.
on the hard,
He-
and I was like, what?
He was stuck. He was behind, I think, an Alfa Romeo and I think it was Tsunoda. He was
Right.
behind. It may have been Gasly. It was hard to tell, but I think it was an Alfa and Tsunoda. Then, so he pitted for, I think, a set of mediums, and then caught right back up to those and got stuck again.
Vettel spun on the first fourth lap or something on his own.
Oh yeah, I think that's right at the restart, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a return to bad form, unfortunately, I felt.
Yes.
And then-
Alonso tried to go around the outside of him, and
Yeah.
it just looked like he got a bit eager on the throttle because there was no contact.
Yeah. And then eventually they retired him because he made no progress, basically.
Mm-hmm.
There was a great move into Stowe, and I think it was Gasly on one of the Alphas. I think it was Giovinazzi going round the outside of Stowe. It was mega. I managed to hold it.
Which is not on the
then,
coverage.
No.
Yeah.
And then Mazepin did a great move on Schumacher. I think he had it round outside his Stowe and in the chicane. He kept it on the
Yeah.
left. He managed to get through. Which again, I don't think was on the coverage.
Yeah, that's on the official onboard clip on YouTube, at least.
Hmm.
I don't think the Gasly move you mentioned was anywhere.
My favourite part of the race though was Kimi fighting. He was fighting with Perez. He fought with him, I think, during Perez's second stint,
Yeah.
or first
He did.
stint, I can remember. And I think Perez managed to get past in sector 1.
Well, it was
And
for a
then
point.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
I think Perez pitted again and caught back up. And Kimi was fighting and he stole every single lap. And there was one where he gets past round the outside Perez, but then Kimi holds it in the chicane, tries to nick up the inside in the last corner, and Perez, I think Perez half turns in on him and Kimi half sends it up out of nowhere.
I don't know, like, when I watched the onboard back from Kimi's point of view, he is alongside.
Yeah,
He's in between, his front wheel is in between Perez's 2 wheels, it's in the wheelbase. And Perez just does a full sharp turning to the apex.
Yeah.
And to me, if we've got this rule book now where someone has to be culpable for every move and has to be a car width, well, why didn't it apply to that incident?
yep.
I'm not saying I would have given a penalty to it, but I am saying, in my own world with my own rules, right? But if we're applying this rule set like we did with Norris and Perez in Red Bull Ring, Hamilton and Verstappen, to me, Kimi is halfway up the inside of the car. Mazepin and Schumacher managed to do the exact same move with no contact. And, yeah, I can't get my words out. I'm annoyed. Perez penalty, in my opinion.
It was a when I was sitting, it disappeared out of view as they turned left through that chicane, so that was the one I was expecting a yellow flag. But I saw Raikkonen and Perez goes side by side through there, and all of a sudden there was the yellows, and you're like, oh, which one's spun? And is it going to be a safety car, someone on the wall upside down? And then it was just Kimi spinning. I think because it was investigated after the race, I think what saved Perez is that neither driver blamed each other when they went to see the stewards.
Well, yeah, did you hear Kimi's radio message after that incident?
Yeah, he wasn't really bothered.
It's explosive.
He was pissed off about how slow his car was.
Yeah, it's like, well, it doesn't matter, we'll just need to be quicker. There's a cool little clip, actually, where in the post-race interview, Kimi's talking to the interviewer, and Perez is waiting to be interviewed. Perez is waiting there a while, and as soon as Kimi finishes, Perez is like, he talked longer than I expected. Because normally he's got like 2 words. Yeah, Kimi. Oh, we'll talk about that in a bit.
Yep, and then, unless you've got anything else, go back to the fight for the lead.
Yeah, sorry.
So, Lewis is about 15 seconds behind, catching up on Bottas. Leclerc is along the hangar straight and round Stowe towards the chicane before he can even see a Mercedes at this point. The gap's huge. And then Bottas gets the radio call. First of all, don't fight Lewis, and then told, you're letting him pass on this lap into turn 12. Do it.
Team order, do not fight with Lewis.
And to be fair, this time he didn't, because I think it was it Spain? He did
Spain
fight
did.
back. This time I think he's looking for a contract. So he's given up on this year. So he lets Lewis go. And then Hamilton's just hunting down Leclerc. And it's just waiting to see if there's enough laps for him to catch him.
That's an amazing drive, that part of the race. Just
I didn't think
fearless.
he'd do it until about 7 or 8 laps to go, when you could see them on the straight together, and you're thinking, maybe.
It's weird, go back to Bottas' performance. I know he's pulled over there for Hamilton, but should he not be quicker than Leclerc at that point anyway?
Yeah. It should have been, can you hold Leclerc up?
Yeah, it should have been a Bottas win in some respects. Interesting. Yeah, but just superb every mark drive that marks him out as a 7-time champion. And it was nice, if you can remember that part of the race after the crash earlier on, for him to show grit and determination like that to get it done. Because Leclerc's putting in a superb drive as well.
Yeah, and I thought the overtake between the two of them was very well done on both sides.
Yes, how it should be done.
Which corner was it at, Nick? Where you can't overtake ever?
Yes, Cops.
Cops? Oh,
I don't believe it. You definitely can't overtake there.
Well, what I thought was interesting this time is I think, whether because of what happened with Max or just not at all, I don't know, it looked like Lewis stuck his nose in and then backed out of it. But I think deliberately, which made Leclerc tentative to turn in, and he ended up running wide. So it's like he just scared him off the track.
Yeah, that's true.
Rather than an outright overtake there.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Leclerc left the room as well.
Leclerc left the room when he had that little snap of oversteer.
Yeah.
Proves that it can be done.
I was gutted. I wanted
Holland.
him to do it half a lap later.
Yeah.
Oh, so you could see him.
But it was still a huge cheer for him to do it, which is brilliant. And yeah, one of his best Silverstone drives, I think, fighting back from that far back with a penalty to overcome it and win. And the celebrations after were brilliant.
Did he drive up to you?
He did. Do you not follow me on Instagram?
Oh, well, I knew. I was trying to make a good podcast.
Oh yeah, podcast, sorry. Yeah.
I'll say that again. I saw your video of him driving up to you with the flag, Colin. What was that like in person?
Yeah, it was brilliant. It was brilliant to see him win, because at one point it looked like it was over. And yeah, it spices up the championship, which I'm still saying is going to Max. But
Same.
at least it's interesting now. There's only a few points in it. Whereas before this race, it looked dead and buried totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Hungary next, so that's Red Bull all day, though.
Yeah, but it's a track I think Lewis has won on, 8 times?
I know, but if we're saying that America's got some, like Silverstone, they had the high-speed setup, and Red Bull was the corners. Well, it only is corners in Hungary.
Very true.
it was interesting as well how the Red Bull used Perez to take a point away from Hamilton as well.
I was going to mention this because to me, doesn't that show how slanted towards Max the team is?
Yeah.
They've sacrificed manufacturer points, teams points. Sorry, because Perez is in 9th and 10th.
I was just checking because I've actually got the highlights on in the background right now. Yes, Perez is 10th at the point when he is called in.
So they've sacrificed a team's points to give Max Verstappen something. So earlier when we're talking about, Perez, what's the gap between him and Max and blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking the whole team is so slanted towards Max, any driver would find it difficult in that seat.
Yeah.
And that proved it, that single thing of, you've done a great job there, Perez, by taking away points from us so that you can take away a point from Hamilton. Because, of course, the fastest lap, Hamilton had it, but that point is not redistributed.
No. Doesn't go to Perez because he wasn't in the top 10, but it doesn't go to Hamilton either.
Doesn't go to anyone, yeah. So I just thought that was madness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tom Cruise was happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Tom Cruise was, I think, Lewis Hamilton's VIP guest. And poor Harrison Ford was at Williams.
Was he Williams?
Yeah, he was at Williams.
Why was he there?
Yeah.
Poor Harrison.
Is he promoting a movie?
He's filming New Indiana Jones now in Britain.
Oh, it's in Britain, is
Filming
it?
it in Glasgow and I think somewhere in England as well.
Tom Cruise did this whole Top Gun themed thing for Channel 4. Quite interesting, whatever. The film's not out till November.
Top Gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, what is he promoting here then? He's just a special guest of Hamilton, I guess.
Well, he's been in the UK at
Filming
every
Mission
sporting
Impossible.
event over the last month.
Yeah.
He
Weird
was
that,
at,
isn't
he was
it?
at the Euro final. He was at, I think, the Wimbledon final, and then end up at Silverstone. So I'm not really sure why he's here.
Normally when they do that, it's to promote a film, right?
But if
believe
I was
he's
Tom,
filming Mission Impossible 209.
Oh, they're still doing that because the clip of the outbreak on set was ages ago.
Yes, but then there was a break for COVID, and I think there's currently another break for COVID because a crew member tested positive.
Oh, right.
I think. Don't quote me on that.
Good film facts. Looking forward to that film.
Yeah, which one is it anyway? I literally can't remember the number.
Absolutely no idea, but all I know is there's another one confirmed after this one.
Yeah.
spoilers.
Well, not really.
I think we're on 9 now. 7 is the new one.
So this will be 8.
No. Yeah. No. 7 will be out in 2022.
Come on.
8 will be 2023.
There you go.
They'll just put a "the" in front of it and start again.
The Mission Impossible. He's,
like Fast and Furious, where the plot doesn't matter anymore. So just bring back all the dead characters and start again.
Yeah. Anyway, away from films. You just got me thinking back. I went to the cinema to see Fast and Furious the other week, and it was so depressing.
Oh yes, terrible. No, I think we might have talked about that before, but
Yeah.
it's one of the worst films of all time.
Yeah.
How does he even get rescued? Because she's behind the door. Anyway.
Oh dear God! Who knew a crappy car like that could go in space and survive?
Oh, I've forgotten about that part.
Jesus.
Well, it's completely ruined it for Nick here.
Oh, sorry,
and the audience.
I apologise, Nick.
There is no spoiler. There is no spoiler because you're just there
Pretty
for
sure
mindless stunts.
the people who made the film ruined it for me.
Yeah.
You'll watch it though.
Dear.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. I did.
Esteban Ocon was P9.
Was he?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. We've been slating him for the past 4 races since he gained his contract. We give him a bit of praise.
Well, he got a brand new chassis for this race to try and prove that disprove that there was nothing wrong with his old one.
Oh, right, okay. Fine.
The team believed there was nothing wrong with it, but thought no harm in changing it, because if there was something wrong we can't find, it fixes it, and if it doesn't, it might make him think that it's fixed.
Yeah.
Commenting going fast.
How much did that cost in the Red Bull level of price list?
Oh, $500,000. Shinoda got 10, which I thought was quite good. He out-strategised Giovinazzi, who was pretty peed off because he was running in front of Shinoda for ages, but pitted much earlier than Yuki. And Tsunoda actually beat Gasly as well.
Gasly paid for a puncher.
He did.
Still beat him.
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't disagreeing.
I'm giving my man a bit of praise here. And I thought it was actually a pretty decent weekend for Williams, 12 and 14th. Because George was quick and he still managed to hold on to 12, although there was 3 cars that should have been ahead of him behind him.
Williams just don't seem to have a car that can race well.
No.
And especially don't have a car that can start well.
No.
They always get swamped on the starts and then they can't make up the places.
No, it's just George Russell doesn't have any talent. I know that because someone from the Netherlands told me.
I hope it's the car and not George, because every week his starts are terrible.
Yeah.
Every single week. Whereas Latifi's seem okay, so I don't know if it's... I hope it's
but
the
George
car.
is starting mid-pack, it's a bit different.
Yeah, Latifi's a bit further back generally.
True,
Not that much, but...
The Hassies are not going to go flying past them. Oh, that was something that struck me the weekend. How slow the Haas cars are. It's quite sad actually how quickly they just disappear. Like they were getting like a conciliatory clap every time they went past as like encouragement just to keep them going. But it was ridiculous how poor their car is.
Was it like watching Chris James in the British Touring Car Championship a few years ago?
It's not nice. I feel a bit sorry for them, but they've limited money, so they have to save it for next year. But that car is shocking.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with them next year, though.
Anyway, we need
all into it.
We need a point update for Haas and Williams.
Well,
yeah.
Standings update, sorry.
Williams are ahead of Haas now. Alpha are still on 2 points. Probably should have had a couple
Precarious.
this weekend.
Yeah, precarious. And they're going to be Alpha for a long time now.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was wrong all the way along.
yes, so was I.
Yeah. Turns out when they said they were going to stay in F1, they were going to stay in F1. So
Then they're going to sign Valtteri Bottas.
apparently so. That came out of nowhere the past day or two, didn't it?
So who goes to Williams?
They no longer have to run a Ferrari driver either.
Correct.
Not to say they won't run one, but they're not under contractual obligation.
So they could have 2 new drivers. Although I do hope Giovinazzi keeps it.
Do you think Kimi stays then?
No. Well,
I was quite impressed with him this weekend, how punchy he was. Like, that was great to see. He was actually fighting people. But
depends if you can get a drive in the WRC, I think.
yeah, he's still not that quick, especially compared to Giovinazzi in normal qualifying normally.
Yeah, because I'm still not sure how much of an improvement Giovinazzi's made, or is it Kimi falling back?
Exactly. You've got to think it's a
Sometimes
latter.
you don't know, but yeah.
That's why Giovinazzi
Improving.
deserves another season.
But yeah, names that have been linked with it are, you've got Mick Schumacher, you've got Callum Ilott, you've got Valtteri Bottas.
Schumacher makes more sense to me, but there you go.
I'd love to see Callum Ilott get a drive next year, whatever it is.
But that could be Haas, it could be Williams. I know Ilott's a Ferrari driver, so I don't know, but...
Well, he's just joined my team, so...
Oh, is he? F1 2021, the game.
Yeah, and at the top, Championship leads down to 8 points. So 3 points in sprint was valuable, and then Constructors is down to 4 points.
Well, it could have been 5.
And amazingly, Lando Norris is still in third.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
I suppose he finished...
targeting it as well as a season.
You know, he's probably sitting there rubbing his hands together thinking, these two up top are now going to be battling each other as hard as possibly can, and I'm just going to sit here in third or fourth and take up all the points.
Well, that's why he lets Hamilton or someone who's really quick by without too much of a fight, I think. He's thinking the long game, which is clever.
It almost annoyed me in Austria when he did it. I thought,
I know.
put up a bit of a fight, but it doesn't make sense to do so, really.
Yeah, we want a fight, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you lambasted me for... I was saying Alonso and was it Vettel in Bahrain were fighting and what, they've ruined each other's race. But at least it provided entertainment. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
Norris has sided with B, so there you go.
Yeah. He's an F1 driver and I'm not, so...
Yeah. Oh, I saw wild speculation that Oh, he's going to go to Mercedes instead of Russell. No, he's not.
No.
If you had your free pick, and you're total wolf, and you have no contractual or personal relationship with either, and you're just picking on what you've seen, who are you going for?
Nico Hülkenberg. Just because I want to see
Be a
him.
bad choice, to be fair. But
Yeah, perfect number 2.
I don't know if it's the Brit in me, but it's got to be George for me.
Well, Colin, you didn't answer.
A year ago, I'd have said George. Now, I'd say Lando. I think Lando is been best performing driver in the grid this season.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Latifi then.
So who would you go then?
Ah, I've said it. Yeah, Hulkenberg.
I said between the two, so
Oh, did you? Sorry.
you just throw names at me now.
Roman Grosjean. I'd go George, yeah. Well, hang on a minute. And if it was just between the two, why did Nick say it was the Brit inside that decided it was George Russell?
he's also thrown out the Belgian side of Lando Norris's family.
Oh, yes, I totally misunderstood the question. I thought you were talking about Bottas and Russell.
Oh, no.
Right, Colin. Neither of us got it. So
Bottas and
let's listen back and see if you actually spoke in English.
No, Bottas and Norris. I'm confusing myself there. Russell or Norris? Wait a minute.
It's late and it's time to go to bed, I think.
That is a different question altogether.
So hang on. Do you want us to answer that? Bottas or Norris?
Russell or Norris?
Russell.
Hulkenberg.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd still say Russell. I think Lando's been awesome, but I actually do think Russell's a better driver.
Interesting.
Oh.
Only just.
So, Colin, I've got a question for you, Colin, then. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a fair point.
I'm the one that asks the questions.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you a question. If you had Hulkenberg or Bottas, what would it be?
Oh, Hulkenberg.
Oh, there we go.
Even, well, yeah, I would say Hulkenberg, but he never managed to get himself a podium, so. And Hulkenberg,
yeah, that's why I want. That's why it appeals to me.
Did, so yeah, I'd take Hulkenberg over Bottas.
Yeah, me too.
So British Grand Prix. Oh, I seen Mazepin spin. I said that last weekend as one of my predictions. He did spin in front of me during the normal qualifying at Village. So that made my weekend.
Brilliant. You've seen it in person.
I have seen it in person.
Box
it was
ticked.
impressive.
Yeah.
I got a great laugh and a very sarcastic cheer from the crowd, which was nice. Typical British.
Ironic cheer. Love it.
Yeah. Any more from you guys?
I'm out.
You're right.
Yeah, that's it, really.
It was the first time I ever got to hear God Save the Queen in person. I'll say that.
Oh,
And
that's a good point.
the guy doing the tannoy forgot to press the button at the start of the race, and then the red arrows flew over, so I didn't hear it then. But during one of the W Series races, there was a British driver won it, and there was an American woman sitting behind me when they played the national anthem. She was perplexed and like almost angry. No one would stand up for it.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's
being
an American. Well,
You know,
yeah.
we play this like every morning. You've got to stand up for it. Like, this is a support race. We'll stand up for the real one. So,
How was W Series just quickly?
W Series was pretty good. It felt like between that and F2 didn't feel much difference between the car. I know there is a pace difference, but watching them didn't feel much different.
That's cool.
F2 was fairly decent, although there wasn't really much overtaking going on Saturday. And I didn't see the British GT Masters.
Oh, apparently that was amazing.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah. Andy Jordan was trying to fight for the win. I think there was some contact.
See, I missed that every day. It was on at awkward
I
times.
saw some clips on Twitter and they were just like, oh, this is the best race ever. Was Porsche Super Cup there?
No, it was initially on the calendar when I bought the ticket, but it wasn't when the timetable came
Be
out.
denied Michael Cree's action.
Yeah. And Dan Camish, is he not in that one?
No.
No. Which one's
Oh,
he
he might
in?
be doing a few races. Oh, you've got me now.
I
He's
can't
definitely in
keep
the
up.
British one.
Yeah, I can't keep up
Yeah.
with Porsche's race.
Yeah.
No. The £8 hot dog that I had wasn't worth the £8. say that.
What if you were to put a price on it?
Oh. See, if I pay more than £1 for a hot dog, I feel done by. So,
£2.30.
yeah.
You're not in Scotland now.
No.
Well, you are, but you weren't then.
Yeah. £3 bottles of Coke, £3 ice cream, £5 bacon roll. That was hard.
That is a hell of a weekend. That ice cream, bacon roll, and hot dogs.
Yeah. Oh, and I went to the pick and mix stall, and I weighed my bag then, and it came to £24. I was like, oh Jesus, this is an expensive weekend.
£24.
Yeah. So.
Goodness me.
Yeah. Good
Where
weekend.
else can you go though? Captive audience.
Great weekend. Might do it again. My boss is wanting to go next year, so
I've got to go at some point.
I think it's one of those bucket list things you've got to do.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I think Silverstone's probably one of the most expensive you could do though. So I think the tickets for like Hungary or that are much cheaper.
Pre-COVID, you could go to Spa for cheaper than Silverstone,
Yeah.
including travel. But I don't know what it's like at the minute.
Yeah. But it's definitely a bucket list thing to do.
Yeah, my mate used to go to Spa, and it used to cost him like 120 quid all in, travel, everything, for the whole weekend.
Yeah. And you don't get a grandstand, you can just get a walk-in ticket, I guess.
That's something I probably wouldn't do a general mission at Silverstone.
It's too busy, I would assume.
It's busy, and where you can stand, they're not brilliant views.
Well, there's a lot of fencing. Well, mind you, every F1 track is, but...
Yeah, but just being that bit higher than all the grandstands just gives you a much better view of everything.
Yeah. Oh, I know we're wrapping up. I've got some other random motorsport thoughts.
Okay.
And this is the vehicle to put them out there. Sorry, Colin.
Go for it.
Talking about fences reminded me. Did either of you see Formula E from London Excel Centre?
Oh, yes.
No, I didn't.
Right, you've got to watch the highlights on YouTube, Nick, because the Leeds go-kart circuit is more challenging than that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool. So, if you don't know, they built a track inside the Excel Centre, which is like an exhibition hall. But it also then went outside and around like the pathway, the parking lot, or whatever it might be, and then back inside again. So the part of it's inside with dark lighting, like a go-kart track indoors. Part of it's outside. But there was incidents in the race, so that's cool. But that is the worst track design I think I've ever seen in my life. No question. And controversially, the safety car came out, and Degrassi in the Audi was in mid-pack. Came into the pits and came out because that was quicker route than the actual race car track behind the safety car. So under safety car, he jumped to first position.
Oh,
Brilliant. But he got a penalty because technically he didn't stop in the pit lane or something weird.
I just drove through.
They got him on a technicality, but it was very clever thinking because it didn't break a rule, and it was perfect. That it's complete oversight from the rule set and the track design. And they saved it for the safety car moment. And the other thing was Lausitz Ring, which is a German oval. It's where Alex Zanardi unfortunately had a horrific car accident and lost his legs. I don't think they'd used any part of the oval properly until this recent weekend, where the DTM used the straight at the first bank corner, maybe the second, and the back used almost half of the oval. And so I'm not down with the current DTM, but if you want to just see like a different track layout you've not seen before, there is an oval in Germany, and they kind of used most of it at the weekend, and then they sort of go into the inland. So check that out as well. All right. Wow. Sorry.
Yeah, I did watch the Saturday race at F2, and it was just bizarre. And the cars were just like so clumsy and bumping each other and everything.
Oh,
so,
F8, Formula E. Yeah.
For me, yeah, it was.
Well, an element of the new Formula 1 rules is they're going to be a bit tougher with body contact. I hope it doesn't go as far as Formula E, because they're so tough that they're just sort of bumper cars off each other.
Yeah, it's just
to an extent.
Yeah, I want it like that series, but I just it doesn't hit the mark. This weekend though, we're back in Hungary, where it's all kicked off already for the Formula 1, and British Touring Cars is back at Alton Park.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So we've got a double weekend in motorsport.
Back for another podcast next week.
Yeah, another 4-hour epic.
Oh, you sound so happy about that.
We do have a new driver for the touring cars as well.
We do?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the hard car.
Was it Jack Mitchell?
I was kind of hoping you would fill it in because I can't remember. We'll go with that.
It is. Yes, Jack Mitchell.
Don't really know who he is.
Previous Janetta Junior Championship and British GT4 champion.
Oh,
I
cool.
think he beat Lando Norris in that during one of them.
Ah, that'll be the Janetta Junior.
I think he was racing in the minis this year. I think he'd
Yes,
done a
he
couple of
is.
the mini races.
Right.
So yeah,
Okay. Let's go see how it goes.
back at home park, where I'm assuming there'll be fans in, full crowd.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Unrestricted.
I don't know how your rules are working down there.
They can do whatever they want now, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, seems
lucky
that way.
you. I've got tickets for Knockhill. I'm still not sure if there's going to be limits or not.
I think it'll be fine.
Welcome to Scotland. But we're at level 0, but there's still restrictions, and I think next week we're going beyond level 0, and there's still restrictions. So
Well, let's not get into that.
I'm not sure when restrictions end. Level -10. Who knows?
Right.
But we're back next week, Hungary, where hopefully Lewis and Max will keep it clean, but I doubt it.
For the Formula 1 Rolex Magyar Nagy 2021.
Perfect. And do you want to do the touring cars one?
Alton Park.
There you go. Well done. Why can't I do that in F1? Why can't I have sponsors? Anyway, so we're back next week, and yeah, hopefully it's all calmed down by then.
Hey, well done.
Bye.
See it. Bye.